Hey guys, this is Evie. I'm just trying to do a quick little video here, kind of showing, um, I guess, kind of the future of the channel. One thing that I kind of like to pride myself on a little bit is actually physically collecting these Japanese games and being able to kind of like back them up and, officially play them that way. Um, we all have our own opinions on the best way to do things and whatever. And I like to have the games physically, and it's something that I enjoy doing. So I'm not going to fault anybody for playing things any other way, but this is just something that I like to do. And I kind of want to show you some things that I have gotten in recently, or things that I have gotten in far in the past at this point. But things that kind of have fan translations that I think will eventually make their way on to the channel. When that will happen, because I don't know. I don't even know how long I'm going to stream or what days yet, or I guess I don't have a great plan laid out, unfortunately, and that's something that I have to really consider and think about going forward. Is kind of setting some goals and getting things lined up for you guys, and maybe actually committing to a schedule for certain games, because right now it's kind of just been bouncing around different games. We played Pokemon TCG 2, we've played some Dragon Quest, now we've played Digimon, and we've played some Soccer Wars, and we're kind of just bouncing around all over the place. And I'm sure down the road, people would actually like to finish games instead of getting some, I guess, previews of them. So that's something to figure out. But I didn't grab everything. Actually, there was a Monster Hunter game I wanted to grab. I just realized I didn't do that. Um, but I'm going to start off with the one Game Boy game I have sitting up here. Um, this is a game I got in very recently here with my last big order from Japan. We have the original Super Robot Wars on Game Boy. I suspect once I back this up that this is something that could appear on the channel, and I think will be a lot of fun. This is a very large series in Japan that I feel like is starting to get some attention here. It's actually getting some releases officially in the US in more recent times. It's been a series that has had a lot of licensing issues just because it covers a lot of different mecha anime, and it's kind of been hard to get released here in the US. Another game that I got recently in the same giant shipment from Japan, and I actually got the guidebook for it as well, is Tear Ring Saga. For those of you who don't know, this is actually made by the creator of Fire Emblem before or after he left Intelligent Systems. This was originally actually supposed to be called Emblem Saga. Obviously, it got some lawsuits from Nintendo Japan, and that name did not come to fruition. So this has a fan translation. I think this could be a fun game to eventually show off on the channel as well. Here's a game that we got in off of eBay. Or no, excuse me, this actually came off of Amazon. I don't normally buy Japanese games off of Amazon. I almost would advise not to do that. My advice to someone who imports a lot of stuff would be that you don't. I kind of took a gamble. This was actually in Amazon's warehouses. It had Prime shipping available. And I took a gamble. And it actually came complete. I mean, I think there might have been a card with this game at one point. It did not have the trading card, I guess, technically, but it had the box, the game, the cartridge, and the manual inside, which is about, as close to CIB as it can be, I guess. But yeah, my advice: probably don't buy Japanese games off of Amazon. Not every seller is going to rate things the same way. Most often, Amazon sellers don't include pictures. I think it has to do with that Amazon also charges more for pictures. But yeah, so this has already been on the channel a little bit. We'll probably see more of it. Digimon Story Lost Evolution. Pretty fun game. We do have a Saturn game here. We have Dragon Force 2. This is actually one of my older collection games. I want to probably do it on the channel one day. I have played it off of stream, and it is a lot of fun. We actually did get Dragon Force 1 in the US on Saturn, but not 2. So that will probably find its way to the channel someday. Then we actually have some Castlevania Rondo of Blood on PC Engine. This is actually the original Japanese version. This is not a PC Engine Works remake or anything. So this one, I'm not entirely as sure this will make it onto the channel. This just has more to do with... I shouldn't say that. Obviously I brought it out here. I do think it will, but this might be more of a one-off. This is not the type of game that I'm exactly good at. Is kind of what I guess I'm getting at here. But it is a very awesome game, and I guess we should probably honor it by making an appearance. So whether or not this game will be fully completed on my channel, I don't know, but I think we may show it off down the road and give it a try. Next off, this is a game I got a while back. This is Tales of Destiny Director's Cut. We did get the PlayStation 1 original version of this. I have played this a teensy bit off stream. I'm not the greatest at the combat in the Tales of games, but I will admit that the Tales of games are a lot of fun, and I think we'll definitely be putting this on the channel. Next up is Berwick Saga. Actually, this is the sequel to Tear Ring Saga, and I actually don't know 100% that this has a fan translation. I actually got this as part of a bundle with Tear Ring Saga and the guidebooks for both games for a pretty darn good price. So this is one that I think could make an appearance on the channel. I just kind of wanted to feature it a little bit because we did show off Tear Ring Saga. But this is one that could very well make an appearance. This could be one that would be maybe a candidate to attempt. My only concern is I have read that Berwick Saga, I think, kind of has some really goofy... I don't know how to phrase it properly. Maybe it's both Tear Ring Saga. So there's kind of some like unspoken rules, I guess, so to speak, or kind of to recruit certain characters or to advance certain battles and missions in the battles and stuff like that, I guess is the best way to say it. That's not really well relayed to the player. So we'll see what happens there. I would like to probably cover it. This is Dragon Quest V PS2. We did a couple streams of this already. This is a pretty fun game. It's kind of cool to see how it's advanced from its Super Famicom release. Now, obviously, we got the DS version in the US. We did not get the Super Famicom version or this PS2 version, although I can't remember for sure if I remember that the PS1 version of Dragon Quest IV, it was either the Dragon Quest version or Dragon Quest IV PS1 version or this game that were highlighted in a couple of like promotional materials for the US, but either way, neither of them came. I'm going to highlight these really fast. These are two Neon Genesis PSP games. These are the essentially Girlfriend of Steel or Iron Maiden. These are kind of more of like visual novel dating sim games almost, I believe. I think I played these quite a long time ago on Saturn, a teeny bit. They were originally released on Saturn, actually, if I'm recalling correctly. I've never actually played these PSP versions. So, as a Neon Genesis fan, I believe that we will eventually move on to these games at some point. So that's something to look forward to. This came in. Actually, this was my first purchase off of Mercari in America. I never have tried to use the US version of Mercari before, so at least that went really smooth. This came in as pictured and described. This is Digimon Adventure for PSP. I believe this is kind of a retelling of obviously the original Digimon Adventure, not because obviously this was recent. They recently redid Digimon Adventure as an anime, and this would obviously follow the original version of Digimon Adventure because the remade episodes and kind of the whole reboot would not have existed during the PSP era. So obviously a couple things have been changed to make it work as a video game probably and flow better. But something else to look forward to on the channel. Next we have Suikoden. This is a Suikoden that came out on the PSP. I believe this is probably the last main entry in the series. I could be wrong. Maybe there's like some mobile stuff out there that I am not really aware of, but this I think is going to be a lot of fun. I love Suikoden, and this game actually has a fan translation. So we have a Suikoden that never came out in the US that is just going to be totally new. I believe I briefly looked into playing this before, but I have not actually really touched this at all. So I'm really excited for this. This is definitely one that we will be highlighting on the channel in the future. The last game that I really, guys, I have so many totes and tubs and boxes of Super Famicom and Famicom games that I did not go through and pull out those. So there are like a bunch of other titles, really, to be honest, that I just can't show off in this video that we will eventually bring over as well. But the last game that, I shouldn't say the second to last game really, but of fan translations anyway, is Dot Hack Link. I actually got this for pretty cheap in this nice box here. I don't really know a lot about what these books are. I haven't really taken the package apart even yet. We actually have a DVD here, a Blu-ray, a rebirth disc, in a historical disc. I don't know if it's all one disc or there's two discs in there. An epitaph of the New Testament, an epitaph of the Old Testament. I don't know a lot about the Dot Hack Link story. I don't know if I think someone was telling me it did have an anime, but I'm excited for this one. I actually really love the original Dot Hack Link games. I know GU's gotten a lot of love. I really hope that I have heard rumors that they might be doing something with the original games, but I hope they do. Anyway, Dot Hack Link, another game that is most likely going to be featured on the channel sometime in the future. And this game here, this game does not have a fan translation. Now, you might be going, Evie, what are you doing? Why do you have this game in front of us that doesn't have a fan translation? Well, this is Dragon Quest Monsters, or Dragon Warrior Monsters, whichever you want to go by. To be honest, I don't really care. I've intermingled the names before. You can use either here. This is actually Dragon Quest Monsters 1 plus 2. This is a remake of the games on PlayStation 1. This version never came out in the US. And this game, I've played it a little bit. I've not played Dragon Quest 1 on here, but I have played a little bit of 2. And this game is interesting in that they did a really amazing job of just bringing it to life on the PlayStation 1. The art, the world, everything looks really amazing for a PlayStation 1 game, especially considering that these came off of a Game Boy Color. So this is a game that I'm targeting perhaps as our first game to play totally in Japanese. I'm not sure when we'll do this exactly. I kind of have to prepare myself for that day that we do a game totally in Japanese on stream. But I'm thinking that this would be our first target to try it out. It's just, I'm not an expert in Japanese, you guys, by the way. I pretty much know what I know from playing games like this. I've done a little bit of language learning and stuff, but I am not a master. By language learning, I guess I mean using some tools. I've never gone to a class or something, but I've learned some things over the years. I'll put it that way. I've played through games totally in Japanese before, so I'm not fluent, but I'm also not necessarily a dummy. So we'll give it a go. My concern has always been whether or not, people will be able to follow it very well, and it will probably be slower than playing things in totally English. But this is one to look forward to eventually. I'm not sure when it will come onto the channel and into a stream. Maybe we actually start it off on YouTube, and we can kind of slow it down on YouTube. But yeah, I don't know. Either way, it will be coming. I think it's going to be a lot of fun and something to look forward to. And that's it for now, guys. I hope you have enjoyed this little preview of things to come. I'm really sorry about shaky camera or anything. We're so old school here. I'm filming by hand on my cell phone, so I apologize for the camera movement, and I thank you guys for watching. All right, bye-bye.